YouTube, and I was at a networking event today, downtown Detroit quite a bit today, and I was somewhere everywhere, east side, kind of all over. So it's not unusual for me to bump into people that just, let's say, YouTube subscribers that don't recognize me from YouTube, and we kind of chop it up sometimes or a lot of times. But what I want to talk about in this particular video. So at the last minute, I had received a phone call today from somebody that I know just in the business world, and they were telling me, Fabio, once you come out to this networking situation, once you kind of just see what it's about, I want to invite you as a guest. So someone invited me as a guest to a networking thing. So, I get together and, just casual. I didn't really suit it up or anything, but I was casual. I went to the local networking situation. And lo and behold, it was a lot of my competitors in there in terms of commercial cleaning. So I'm thinking, and this guy that invited me, he was just a local business guy that I know. And I had not known anything about this local event that was going on, but because he invited me, and because I'm never shy about just kind of mingling and just prospecting and networking. Never been shy about doing that. I went, and like I said, a lot of my competition was there. Some giant powerhouse people, and hey, how's it going, Evolve? And so I went. So I get there, and sure enough, a lot of the guys that I know is making a ton of money in commercial. Hey, what's up, Aaron? A lot of people, a lot of the guys that I know is making a ton of money in commercial cleaning was there. Some of the powerhouses, the local powerhouses, was there. So I almost thought that this was a commercial cleaning expo or something, where just a bunch of commercial cleaning companies get together and kind of mingle amongst each other. That's kind of what it felt like. So me, compared to a lot of these guys, I'm a little guy, in a big pond, so to speak. These guys been doing it, well before I was even born, and making a ton of money at it. But a lot of the guys, or some of the guys I should say, actually know about my YouTube. They sat down, talked to me, told me about things that they were doing in their local business. Some were, I guess, hating on me a little bit, because I've actually taken some accounts from some of these guys. They're not franchises, by the way. These guys were like independent people that just started an independent commercial cleaning company and just built it from the ground up. But they were a big fan of mine because I've made some type of wave in my local area. But anyway, here's what I want to talk about, you guys, because what happens is I know I had this going on early on, and it can be very, very depressing. Actually, when I was at the event, I was all smile, but I kind of felt a certain type of way, because I have a competitive spirit, right? So I want to be not only the best, I want to be the largest, I want to be perfect, so to speak. I want to just have it all. And my mentality is, and I don't know why this is, maybe it's just an ego thing, but my mentality is I want to outdo the competition. I want to, stay up later than the competition. I want to get a head start earlier than the competition, right? I want to steal all the competition, well, not necessarily steal, but I just kind of want to take over their business. And even though I was kind of smiling and hobnobbing with them, I kind of, in my own secret way, envy the fact that I know these guys was major players in the industry, and and knowing that they have a huge portfolio, and I'm trying to figure out who is their accounts. All along I'm there talking, and I suspect that they was probably doing the same with me, but as I'm talking to them, I'm trying to figure out what contracts they have, and who are they aligned under, and who are some of their other business associates that I could kind of link up with, because I want to have the edge, And I think once you have the edge, you're already ahead of the game. Once you have the edge. And so I want to get the edge. So I'm sitting here, I'm, you know, in some regard, I'm kind of like, fearful, because I know these guys are big players. I know their companies generating more than mine. But I had to snap back into reality and say, Fabio, when this meeting is over, you're not going to think about these companies anymore. Like, you're not going to really think about these companies, right? So you have to stay in your lane, Fabio. Do your thing. Continue to drive your lane. Continue to keep doing your thing. And don't worry about what the competition is doing. So that's why I'm going live today. So many of us, we worried about what the competition is doing. We worry about how much revenue other people are making, right? We wonder about who other people are hobnobbing and prospecting with, on a local level, on a regional level, on maybe a national level, right? We kind of worry, we get irritated with other companies, because truly, or truth be said, we truly want to be the best, right? We want to have the most money. We want to have the best contracts, right? So you guys have to keep your head on a swivel, so to speak. Hey, how's it going, Eric? How are you? You guys have to keep your head on a swivel, so to speak. And what I mean by that, you don't want to lose focus of what it is you're doing. For an example, when I was at this networking event today, it's like a luncheon. It wasn't anything huge. But when I was there, I found out that a lot of my competitions, not only do they have a commercial cleaning company, but under the same umbrella they have maybe a security company. They have another service company, a lawn care company. They have another all under the same umbrella. And I'm looking at these guys like, so that's how these guys are generating so much money. That's how these guys are generating so much money. 1 second, you guys. Okay, not a problem. Sorry, you guys. I had to check on a fax here. I had to send a fax out. I was doing W-2s, and one of my employees had a discrepancy with the W-2, so I had to send it back over. I'm in Michigan, but I had to fax over to my Toledo office. So I just had to get the confirmation. I see it didn't go through, so I have to try back. But anyway, a lot of us, we worry about what the competition is doing. We worry about what lane the competition is driving, right? We worry about how many, divisions another company have opposed to what we have. And I could tell you this story, and maybe a lot of you guys can concur with what I'm saying. When I first started off, right? When I first started off in the commercial cleaning business, I had just a nice little car. It was just enough to do what I needed to do. But it seemed like as I drive down the street, right? It seemed like as I drive down the street, it seemed like I was bumping up against every commercial, residential company there was. Like, when I wasn't thinking about commercial cleaning, it seemed like I didn't see nobody's van, right? I didn't see nobody's truck. And I used to kind of get, and I said this on other videos, and I'm going to say it again, I used to get envious because, it says, been in business since 1982. And I'm like, shit, this company is about old as me, right? Been in business since 1990. I say, damn, they got a head start more than me, so I know these guys are making buku money. They have a fancy van, they have it body wrapped in their logos and all of this, and licensed and bonded, and they have this, and we do residential, we do upholstery, we do carpet, we do this. They you know, they have all of these different things that they do, right? And it was depressing. One of the most depressing things, I almost wanted to throw my rag in at that point, because I'm like, it's just too many fucking commercial cleaning companies in my area, and I'm not going to be able to make any money. Who the hell is going to hire me every time I drive down the street? One second, guys. Probably going to call my other phone. One second. One of my employees here. I'll wait. They'll call. Give it a couple minutes. So, I was getting very, very discouraged because, like I say, it was just, it seemed like it was just too much competition in my area. But what made me continue, right? From 2012, hey, how's it going, Tim? What made me continue from 2012 up to this point? And I want you guys to like, share, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to me, I want you to subscribe right now. I want you guys to like right now, because it takes a lot out of my schedule to put these videos together for you. Call the other phone. Why are you gonna keep calling this phone? So that's the thing, right? That's the thing. I'm sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. Stay headstrong on what it is you're trying to do, what it is you need to do. Okay? Don't let the competition get in the way. Don't let the fact that other companies are starting up in your immediate area, or the fact that you found out that the competition is doing this, or they're going for that account, or they're going for this account. Don't let that discourage you from starting your commercial cleaning business. Okay? You have to start small and then you build up. Because 9 times out of 10, what happened a lot of times. One second, you guys. Let me see what they shoot this text real quick, you guys. Bear with me. I'm sorry about this. Okay, sorry about that, you guys. Now, don't let the competition just have this type of power over you, where you feel like that you won't be able to make it, that you won't be able to make a significant amount of money in this industry. Okay? Hey. So, again, don't let the competition just make you feel a certain type of way, as I was feeling a certain type of way when I was in this networking group. Okay? Because even though they may have been in business longer than me, right? Even though they're probably making a considerable amount of money more than I am, I still know my position in the marketplace, and I still know what I have to offer. I still know how I'm moving. I still know a lot of times they might be bigger, but my ethics might be a lot better, right? My positioning might be a little better, right? My staffs might be a little more well trained, right? My system might be a lot better. Hey, how's it going, Miss B? Okay, so again, that being said, that's the reason that I started my company from the start, because I knew deep down inside what I had to offer. Okay, and so many of you guys, I know I get emails and calls all the time. So many of you guys say, well, I can't do it, or it's too, what would you say, Fabio, about the competition? And it seems like every day there's a company starting up, and the thing is, you can't worry about what other people are doing, because you can't change it. So, what up, bro? I'm tuned in. Let me know. Yeah, sure, you can ask me questions. If you guys have questions pertaining to the subject matter, or you know, just something that you're going through, you know, in your business, whatever. Shoot your questions out as they pop up. I'll definitely respond to them. But like I say, you guys definitely want to stay motivated when starting your commercial or your residential cleaning company. Okay, there's a lot of franchises, and franchises will make you feel a certain type of way too. You know, because you might see their cars going down the street, you might see their vans going down the street. You know, you have Vanguard, and you have this company, and you have Jen King, and you have Gen Pro, and you see all their different logos and symbols and things like that. And even though they well established, right, they don't all the time have the best ethics. Okay, now I'm not saying that they're not ethical or whatever, but a lot of times the way they do business and the way you might do business is the difference between apples and oranges, right? Because you might be a little bit more polished, they just have a better system because they're able to get contracts. And at the end of the day, it's not as much well, to me it's more about system than it is your approach of getting the contract. And that's just my personal opinion. A lot of people would say it's the opposite. It's more about getting contracts than the system. I think it's more about the system first than the contracts, because once you have a proven system, it runs on autopilot, right? It runs itself. It don't necessarily need you to partake in the business once you have a certified system. Okay, and that's how I run my company, Hollywood Janitorial Service. That's why I'm able to operate in Georgia and not be in Georgia. I'm able to operate in Ohio and not live in Ohio, right? That's why I'm able to navigate the way I do around Michigan, right? I do business in Ben Harbor, Michigan, for you guys that might be familiar with the western part of Michigan, right? Ben Harbor, I'm in Pontiac, I'm in Sterling Heights, I'm in East Point, right? I have accounts everywhere. Okay, big and small alike. And the reason being is because I put myself out there, right? I'm active. I'm always actively looking, okay? Whether I have my people in Toledo beat the phone lines in terms of doing the lead generation program, the same thing that I was telling you guys about. I have those guys consistently doing that. And they're not only doing that for Michigan. They're not only doing that for Michigan. They're doing that for Atlanta. They're doing that for Toledo, right? They're doing that for Detroit, right? So I have my people consistently, actively, and I like to use that word, actively looking for, you know, potential prospects, because I know once I walk in the door that I'm able to sell myself. I already know that I have the ability to sell them on why they should have us opposed to anybody else, right? Because I know what we bring to the table. I have trained staff, you know, people in place. You know, we bump heads, you know, just like any other, you know, company where you bump heads with your staff. But at the end of the day, I like to look at them as well, you know, put together. I got a well put together group that's not only out to make themselves, you know, a little money, but have a good reputation, help me have a good reputation with my company, because I understand from as an entrepreneur that I need them just as much as they need me. Okay, so again, but I have a system in place, you guys. Okay, if you're just joining me, I want you to like this video, you guys. Like this video, because it does take a lot for me to you know, this is time that I could be, you know, looking for other accounts. Okay, jeez, my Facebook is going nuts. You know, this is times that I can, let me show you what I did. I was at the library today, you guys, and I scour papers like this. These are free papers locally, and what I do is I look for leads in here. You know, I actually read them and see different things, and you know, I attend some of the events in here sometimes. You know, but I actually look for accounts. Okay, and these are free papers. You pick them up off the street, right? They're off the little stand. Okay, here's another one. It's for the LGBTQ or LGBT, whatever. You know, I look, right? I picked a lot. I got a lot of dealerships up out of here, you guys. Like, and this is just a local paper that I have. I got a lot of dealerships. Jesus Christ, what is going on? What is going on? 1 second, you guys. Oh, that's my favorite wrestler, Bret Hart, shooting out a tweet. But anyway, you know, and there's another paper. So I'm always actively looking, right? So when I was at the library, just to show you guys, I'm always trying to caught up with what the competition. This is a young lady, local. She's in my area, Detroit. She started a commercial cleaning business. But all of this paperwork right here, you guys, it's like a book. I printed off. This cost me $10, right? In just cash, just to print off. Okay, and what I do is I scour the internet, not only looking at, you know, what the competition is doing, seeing what other people is offering, seeing how I could add to the system that I have created already, that's already working for me, right? But that's what I do. That's what I do. So in this particular paperwork, I have potential leads, right? And I'm going to attack them. See, the thing about me, man, and a lot of other, you know, cleaning businesses, once people get well established, they tend to not partake in the actual business performance anymore. They tend to kind of sit back once they making their, you know, double digits a month or six figures a month, or you know, $1 million a month, you know, whatever they're making, right? They kind of sit back and they say, oh, I don't need to do this, I don't. And I feel like you should always be working. And I just do. You got guys like Warren Buffett, who's a billionaire, right? But he's always working. This guy doesn't have to work a day in his life anymore. This guy is set on both sides, you know, on investing. This guy, when he sleep, he make more money when he sleep than he does when he's awake. You got guys like Bill Gates, another guy that's set, but he's actively working. I know this. I know stuff that they're actually doing because I keep up on, you know, what's going on here, right? So, and that's how I am. You know, I'm on a considerable smaller scale, but I'm always active. I don't feel like because I generate a little more than $250,000 a year that I know everything, that I have it all. Yes, I have a system and it's proven. I know it works because I'm constantly building revenue, right? I'm creating jobs in my area, right? So the thing is I know what I'm doing working. You know, that's why a lot of people that watch me here on YouTube, when they ask me questions, or let me see, I think someone asked me a question here. Hang on one second, Tim. Let me see here. I am just starting out and working Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. What do you suggest for me to get clients? I'm assuming you're asking me what route I suggest for you to pick up new contracts. And it says you just starting out and work Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Probably what you will want to do is quite a few things that you could do, because since you work during the day, that would be the time that I would tell you. That would be the time that I tell you to. That's a good person. Hang on, Chris. 1 second. Let me get back to Tim real quick. Since you work during the day, Tim, I think that probably your best bet is going to be direct mail. So like postcards, flyers, sending out postcards and flyers. If you can hire somebody and have them work just 4 hours a day, that's all my staff work. You put together a little script, right? And have someone, maybe like a college student, maybe a cousin or somebody that you know will actually make these phone calls on your behalf. You have them, you pay them, you know, just for 4 hours. You can give them a base rate, let's say $8 an hour, just to start them off. And then once you close the deal, you can kind of give them a bonus, you know. That'll keep them enthusiastic about working for you. Keep them enthusiastic about, you know, trying to help you get in the door, okay? Generally speaking, I would say not to hire a friend, a family member to start out, at least for that. I will hire maybe like a college person, or hire someone who's like a retiree, and they can actually do that from home. Excuse me, from home. You can supply them with the leads, right, to call, and then you give them a certain quota to meet, you know, and then you pay them on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, or however you guys structure that. But that's probably the best route that you could go just to start out, because typically speaking, I would prefer that you go door to door. Okay, but since you're working your job from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., that takes up, or I think it was 4 or 5 p.m. Let me see what it is, 5 p.m. That takes up all your time that you would go door to door pretty much. Okay, so that's what I would suggest that you do just to start out. Just do direct marketing or direct mail, and do phone calls. Okay, also real quick, and I'm gonna get to the other guys. I see everybody posting. This is this thing that I call after hours marketing, and that's when you actually do cold calls yourself. Okay, you make the cold calls yourself. I wish I had, let me see something. Let me give you an example here. Let me see. Let me see if I could test the waters real quick to see. Let me look up dentist offices. Hang on, one. You know, I like to be transparent here. Let me see, dentist office. A lot of times companies that have voicemails. So let me show you kind of how it goes here. And a lot of times they have after hours numbers. So hang on real quick. I'm live, and I'm gonna actually call some companies here. Let me see.
This call may be recorded or monitored for quality and training purposes. Please remain on the line to be transferred to the next representative. Thank you. Recording.
Hi, yes, this is Fabio at Hollywood Janitorial. Just giving you a quick call in regards to commercial cleaning for your facility. Feel free to give us a call back directly at 1-888-770-8076. That's 1-888-770-8076. Thank you. Take care. Now, that's a quick example of what I call after hours marketing. That's where you know you're going to call, you know it's after hours, you know a voicemail, or you're going to get some type of answering service that's going to take the call. You would treat the answering service the same way as you would do like a voicemail or an answering machine or something like that. Okay, so you have, and I just went from the top of my head just to give you guys another example. But just in case I talk to somebody, you always want to be prepared in case you talk to somebody, right? So here's what I'm going to do, you guys. I'm live, so I don't have a script, as you see. So I'm just kind of basing this off of the way that I would do it here. One second.
Thank you for calling Brightside Dental Southfield location. Our normal hours of operation are Monday 9 to 6, Tuesday 9 to 7, Wednesday 9 to 6, Thursday 9 to 6, Friday 9 to 5:30, and Saturday 8:30 to 1. For any non-emergency reasons, please leave a message and we will get back to you at our earliest convenience. If this is an emergency, please seek medical attention or you can contact Dr. L. Turk at 248-930-0348. Thank you and have a great day. Please leave your message after the tone. When done, hang up or press the pound key.
Hi, yes, this is Fabio with Hollywood Janitorial Services. I was just giving you guys a call about commercial cleaning for your facility. Please feel free to give us a call back directly at 1-888-770-8076. Again, that's 1-888-770-8076. Thank you. Have a great day. And that's kind of how it goes, you guys. And then you kind of keep on calling. And then you'll be amazed at how many people actually call you back the next day. I'm going to call another one here just to kind of give you guys an idea, because as you see, I don't have a script. I'm just kind of going, I'm just leaving just a basic voicemail.
You've reached Dr. Doctors Morin and McGetrick's office after hours. If this is a true dental emergency, press 1. New patients, press 2. If you need to change an appointment or cancel, press 3 to talk to Dr. Morin directly. Thank you. Your call cannot be transferred. Please try again later. Thank you.
Okay, and as you see in many times, you won't get an answer machine. It'll just direct you to call back later, and you just kind of keep going. So actually, I just looked up on Yellow Pages, as you guys see here on my phone, on my device, and I'm just looking up dentist offices here, right? So I'm just kind of working the list here. So I'm about to call another one. And maybe they're going to call my office back tomorrow. We're going to close them, pick up the contract, right? So this is... Hello? Alright, I'm calling another one, guys. I'm not gonna bore you here, but I just kind of want to give you an idea.
Hi, you've reached Paradise Dental Center. At this time, our office is closed. If this is an emergency, please go to your nearest emergency room, or you can call 313-475-3515. Our hours of operation are Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Wednesdays, Fridays, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Have a blessed day.
Hi, yes, this is Fabio at Hollywood Janitorial Service. I was just giving you guys a call in regards to maybe commercial needs for your facility. Feel free to give us a call back directly at 1-888-770-8076. Again, that number is 1-888-770-8076. Thank you. Take care. And that's kind of how you do it. So that's a technique, Tim, that I like to use. Okay, which is after hours. You know they're going to be closed. You'll leave a voicemail with your little pitches on your voicemail. Don't say, well, we're going to give you half off, and we're going to give you this much off, and we're going to give you that. Don't go into any specifics. All you need them to do is call you back so you can set up an appointment to go in and do a walkthrough. Okay, and then once you do the walkthrough, then you get into the specifics of what they may need done, how you can help them, what you can save them, what you will offer them, what you could do for them. Okay, so that's a technique that I like to use, and that was just something that I just thought of real quick because it's easy to do. Okay, so again, that's what I like to call after hours marketing. That's just my own little thing that I would do from time to time. Most of the times I'll do it like if I get the Detroit newspaper, or I get, like in Detroit we got this thing called the Metro Times. I'll scour this paper. It's a free paper, right? You pick it up off the street, right? And I look through it, and I just look for businesses, clinics, advertisement, ads, this, that, industrial buildings, this, that, whatever I would feel comfortable with cleaning, and then I call them. A lot of times if you do like a club or a bar or something like that, they never close a lot of times, right? They around the clock. So a lot of times you might not be able to meet the decision maker, but you will be able to talk to somebody who can tell you who the decision maker is, and then you can make contact with that person the next day. Okay, so that's what I like to do. As I tell you guys, I'm relentless when it comes down to this stuff. Let me catch up on the comments here. Hopefully I helped you, Tim. Let me see. Let me get back up top here. Chris, he says, what is a good percentage to pay yourself per month? I was thinking 30%. Also my grind is heavy. Already knocking doors and getting business cards. Goal is to make 50 contacts per week. I think that's pretty doable. In the very beginning, as far as percentage, I didn't really have a percentage. To be honest, Chris, I was more concerned about the business. I was more concerned about putting the money back into business. So what money came in, I paid a little bills that I needed to pay, right? So I didn't necessarily pay myself a percentage. I just paid my personal bills. And then as the revenue began to grow, then I would give myself like a salary, okay? Now, you can do 20%, you can do, 15%. Everybody's lifestyle is different. So for me to tell you, do 30, do 50, do this, do that, I don't know what your bills are. I don't know what you're currently paying out. I don't know, I don't know a lot to tell you. 30%, let's say you generating, $500 a month. 30% is, a considerable amount to take away from 500%. But if you're doing, I'm sorry, $500. But if you're doing like $5,000 a month or $50,000 a month, then 30% could serve you well, right? You have a better playing field, so to speak, right? So what I'm saying is, in the very, very beginning, I wouldn't be worried about paying myself as much as I would be about growing the business, if that makes sense. Okay, so you would take whatever revenue come in. So let's say you're generating $1,000 a month, right? Well, that $1,000, you got to not only pay taxes on that, you have to evenly distribute that, right? So if your cell phone bill is due, you can, maybe slide the cell phone bill out of that $1,000, but you have to be able to balance your personal, stuff and your business stuff, because you still want to be able to get the business stuff out the way. Whatever it's going to cost you marketing wise, whatever it's going to cost you for vacuum cleaners, equipment, and chemicals and solutions and things like that. So you have to kind of gauge that. That's why I say throw all the money back into the business if you can. If you have a job, then use your job for your personal personal stuff, and for the business, you just keep throwing it back into the back into the business until you grow it to a substantial amount, and then you can start basing yourself on a salary, if that makes sense. Let me see here. Good information. Thanks, Tim. Fabio, how to get around when office managers pick up the phone and tell you that they already have a cleaning crew? What do you say, or how do you turn this into a positive situation? Thank you. Okay, Eric. When you're doing your cold calling, and first, you don't want to talk to the receptionist. Now, the receptionist may tell you we have a I'm sorry, we have a cleaning service already. We have a crew already here. You can say, great, that's great. But real quick, who would I speak to in regards to commercial cleaning for the facility? And they might say, I'm sorry, sir, we have a crew already here. You say, great, that's not a problem. I'm sorry, what's your name? Oh, my name is Jasmine. Okay, great, Jasmine, my pleasure. Nice to meet you. Once again, my name is Fabio. But I'm not here to sell you anything or, harass you anything. I just want to know who would I speak to in regards to the commercial. You kind of go right back into that, okay? Because the object of the game is to get past her. Okay, then once you get to the decision maker, at that point, what you want to do is establish rapport with that guy or with that girl. Okay, you establish rapport with them, even if they're happy with their current company. You're not trying to sway them. You're not trying to change their mind. You just want to let them know that you exist. Maybe give them your name, give them your company name, and give them your company telephone number, and say, okay, well, if you ever need us in the future, can you keep us in your Rolodex? Can you keep us in your contact list, just in case something happens and you might need us to come in and give you an estimate? Okay, so you don't want to necessarily sell them and try to get them to switch companies. Okay, I don't believe in the hard pressure, here, you need to get us today, and I don't believe in that. If they're happy with the company that they have, great, leave it alone. But you want to be able to make contact with the decision maker. That way you can get his or her name, and you can add them to your contacts as they add you to their contacts. Okay, so if you call ABC Dental and ABC Dental is already happy, Eric, then okay, great. But you found out that Scott is the person that you speak to at ABC Dental in regards to commercial cleaning. Then you just add Scott to the to your Rolodex or to your contact list. Okay, and then one thing that you want to say to Scott, you say, okay, Scott, I understand at this point right now that you guys are extremely satisfied with the commercial cleaning company that you have. Would it be okay, Scott, if I call you maybe next quarter, or would in the next 3 months, or the next quarter? You know, it's 4 quarters in a year. You just say, could I call you the next quarter? Right? And they might say, yeah, give us a call, see where we're at with it. You know, if we're not happy, then maybe we'll give you a shot. If we are, we'll just let you know. Okay, so that's what you want to do. You want to ask them, would it be okay if you do a follow-up phone call maybe in the next quarter or maybe in the next 3 months? Okay, just to see where they're at, to touch bases with them. A lot of times they'll say okay. So let me see here. Let me see here. Okay, Eric. My goal is to make $25K per month in my company by February 2019. Is that realistic? It's going to take a lot of hard work. It's possible, but it's going to take a lot of hard work. You got to really work this thing day and night. I'm not telling you that it can't happen. You know, who am I to tell you? I can't tell you that that cannot happen. 25K by February 2019 or whatever, right? It's going to take a lot of hard work. You just got to, you might surpass that. That might be your goal, but you might be able to surpass that by, you know, next year. I think you said 2019, right? Yeah, by next year, that's definitely a realistic goal, okay? But if you work this thing, you know, strategically, systematically, consistently, constantly, right, then you'll be able to meet that particular goal or better. Great advice. Thank you, Tim. I'm late. I'm here. Sup, Fabio? Hey, what's going on? I'm professional. Let me see. Kylie. In the process of buying uniforms and getting my LLC, the voicemail was really professional. In the process of buying uniforms and getting my LLC, and the voicemail was really professional. I'm not sure what you're trying to ask me there. Good ideas. Thanks, Miss B. Hi, FID. You did. I'm not sure what you were trying to ask me there, Tim. Did you start your LLC first or a sole proprietor starting off? I started sole proprietor because that's all I was able to afford. It was a lot cheaper to start sole proprietor for me. Let me see. That was loaded. Oh, that was loaded. I'm not paying myself until I create 6,000, okay, per month. Okay, that's pretty reasonable. 6,000, you know. Got my first window cleaning gig today. Super excited. Congratulations, Marcus. Ms. B, congratulations. Thanks. Okay, you're welcome. Let me see. How do you reward your call reps? Do you offer incentives like every appointment made, and if a client is to close out? You make them work for it. You give them a probation period, right? So you don't want to start off giving too much right off the bat. Okay, so you give them like a 90-day probation period. You don't want to kind of spoil them right off the bat. You want them to work really, really hard, right? It's good enough for them to have a job. Okay, you can start with smaller percentages. I wouldn't say after, because you're going to provide them the leads to call. All you need to do is have them call them. You can provide them some back end once you close the deal for each one that they call and that you actually get a booking to do the walkthrough for. Once you close it, because they called it and you was able to close it doing your walkthrough and putting your numbers in and things of that sort, you can always give them something on the back end of that, maybe an additional $50 to their check or something like that. But don't go above and beyond, you know, anything super. I wouldn't get them no, you know, $500 Beyonce tickets or something like that to a concert. It's just not that, it's not that serious to me, right? But maybe a $50 bonus, or, you know, something like that. That's a nice gesture, I feel like, you know. But yeah, that's how I look at it. Let me see here. Fabio, can you speak on profit margins when writing an estimate? And is it necessarily if you don't have, and is it necessary if you don't have profit? Well, profit margins is necessary, period. You want to look at what your margins are, right? But in the very beginning, you won't necessarily have any margins, so to speak. You have maybe what your projections. You have what you project, what you feel like you're projected to make, but you can only base that off of kind of like what you're currently making. You know, how often you pick it up new accounts. So you got to kind of keep a record. Are you really getting accounts every 3 months? Are you pulling in, you know, maybe 4 accounts a month, right? So it's a lot of different things that you will want to take a look at. Let me go back to your question here. But the most important is putting in the numbers. Putting in the numbers. I think, very simply put, just starting out between $40 and $60, because I like to do the smaller to medium-sized accounts. I like to do just a flat rate. So from $40 to $60 per cleaning. So it doesn't matter if it took me 4 hours to clean it or if it took me 1 hour to clean it. I'm still going to get the $60 I charged or the $40 that I charge. But that's per cleaning. Okay, because the smaller, there's no sense of trying to tax anybody by the hour if it's only going to take you 1.5 hours, 2 hours to clean. It's no money, right? So if you do, you know, 2 hours, you're not really going to make as much money. But it sounds very affordable to the end user if you say, oh, well, okay, yeah, well, what we'll do is charge just $60 per cleaning. Okay, that sounds very reasonable to them. Okay, so then if you clean 3 times a week, then you do, you know, $60 times 3. Okay, and then you go ahead and multiply that times 4, and that's what you generated within a month time. And that's just before taxes and any expenses come out. Okay, so that's how I look at it. But I think between, you know, for a smaller to medium-sized account, between $40 and $60 should be sufficient. And that's just going off of, you know, just smaller to medium-sized accounts without putting a square footage on it. Okay, you're more likely to pick up accounts if you're just in, you know, if you stay reasonable, especially just starting out. You stay reasonable. If you think $40 per cleaning, right? Now the first cleaning is always going to be more because it's more of a detailed cleaning. That's from top to bottom. So you let them know, okay, the first cleaning is going to be $80. After that, it's going to be $40, you know, per cleaning. Okay, so, and there's a lot of different ways that it's a lot of different ways that you can do that. But if you want more detail on that, feel free to go ahead and email me at bookfabiohart@gmail.com. bookfabiohart@gmail.com. I do not personally do any email writing back. So if you want to speak to me on the matter, you definitely have to leave your name and telephone number. My assistant, Jasmine, to get it over to me, and I'll personally call you back. I will not personally respond back to emails. I don't respond to emails anymore. Jasmine will respond to emails and get the messages over to me. So I'm just letting you guys know. If you're on my live, go ahead and like this, you guys. It takes a lot for me to take time out of the day. Like I say, I got all of this paperwork here that I could be doing, right? I could be making phone calls. I could be looking for new accounts, things of that sort, right? But I decided to share this time with you guys. So I would really, really appreciate it if you're not my subscriber, if you go ahead and subscribe right now. If you share the video, I would greatly appreciate it. Help me get my subscription list up, right? My viewers up, right? My subscribers, all of that, help me get that stuff up, because just as you guys depend on me to give you this very affordable information and very doable information, I rely on you guys to help me, give me, you know, correspond with me, share, like, and subscribe, if you will. Okay, so let me get back to the questions here that we have. Oh, the second part of Marcus, and I'm sorry guys, I talk a lot, but I'm gonna get to everybody, I promise. If you just stay on here, I promise I'm reading your stuff, I'm going to get to you. Just stay on here so you can get the answers. Is it necessary if you don't have employees? Like I said, I would suggest in the very beginning, let me see, who was that, Marcus? Marcus, I would suggest that you take the entire year, if you can, 6 months to a year, I put it that way, if you can, and do it by yourself. Get all the revenue by yourself, okay? Get all the revenue by yourself. And then once you get that revenue, right, then going into the next year or the next 6 months, you should have a substantial amount of revenue that came in from your monthly billings, right? And at that point, you might be in a better position to hire one person or two people. Don't try to hire, be bigger before your time. Hire one person at a time, okay? If it's just you and this one person, you guys stay connected, stay communicating with each other. He does this site while you do this site. When you leave that site, you go check on him over at the other site, right? If he needs your assistance, you go ahead and assist, because at the end of the day, you don't want to be a big shot before a big shot, right? You don't want to be a big shot before your time, because then that's what might cause you to lose an account, because you let your ego get in the way, right? So you want to be able to help your employees in the very, very beginning. Put a training system in place and train the heck out of them. Okay, the better you train them, the more you train them, the better it's going to pay off for you, and the lesser that you will have to interact and actually do some work yourself. Okay, let me see. Is creating a website a good idea for someone just starting out? Creating a website is always a great idea. I don't have one personally, and I do incredibly well, but I wouldn't tell anyone not to do a website. For a commercial cleaning account, how do you bill when service is rendered or first of the month? Well, I like to send out my invoices on the 28th of every month, and I collect on the 1st. Okay, so you bill either what they call a net 15, which is every 15 days you're billing, which is basically every 2 weeks, right? Or you bill a net 30. Okay, which is you do the service and then you bill them. Okay, so that's kind of how it goes. You'll clean the building, or you'll clean the home, or whatever the case is. Now in a home, you can bill daily, if you so choose to, or you can bill weekly. I tend to like to bill weekly when I do residential, because the money look better collecting it at the end of the week from multiple clients than it does, you get $60 a day. Now you got $60, here, and then you go to the next house and you get $60 the same day from them. I like to just pick it all up at one time, and bam, it's there. Okay, but don't let me talk you out of it, because see, I also have the Square for my phone. I also accept credit cards. A lot of my clients, we just automatically bill their credit card. That's a whole nother dynamic. A lot of people aren't used to that part yet. A lot of people aren't collecting their accounts by credit card. They're collecting them via check, where they send out a check, or they go and pick up the check or whatever, and they deposit a check into their bank account. I have a lot of people that we actually just keep their credit card information on file, and at the top of the month, we still invoice them. But we don't have to wait for the check. We just automatically bill the credit card, okay, for the $500, $600, $800, whatever it is. We go ahead and bill the credit card to the business, okay? So that's another thing that you can have. I like to tell people accept multiple ways to, multiple payment options, have multiple payment options to be able to accept for your company. And that's whether they give you a check, or whether you could do, ACH transaction, which is credit card, PayPal, money order, Western Union, whatever. Be able to be able to have as many paying options as possible, so that makes it easy for them to pay you, or for you to be able to collect. Let me see what else here. Tim, Fabio, when I get a client to meet, how would I tell them time to meet me because of my job? I work from 7 a.m. Well, you're just gonna have to you're going to have to find a way to do it. You're going to have to find a way to do it. When you want to, whether you meeting them just to check on your service or whether you're just need to do a walkthrough, you have to find a way to do it. You have to find a way to do it, or you have to delegate that out to somebody who could do that for you. Somebody that you believe have a good business sense, somebody that you believe will be able to do just as good of a job as yourself. Let me see here. This is Betty Bronner. How have you been, Fabio? I've been great, Betty. How about yourself? Evolve, say, Tim, you have to make the time happen, schedule it off. Sick day, yep. What Evolve say, it's up to you. You have to make that time. Thanks for your time. Kylie, no problem. Let's see. What if you cannot get business? What if you cannot get a business checking account? The Fluent one. If you can't get a business checking account, then you have to keep trying. Okay? Somebody is going to let you in the door. Somebody's going to let you in the door. The first bank that you go to, they might turn you down for credit or whatever the reason. Now, if you have any check frauds or any check things that cause, or any felonies that cause you not be able to get any bank account because of any checking scheme, kiting schemes, bank fraud, or anything like that, then it'll be very, very difficult. But you'll have to find a way to do it, even if you have to maybe use a girlfriend, right? Or, say, hey, I need you to open up this checking account. I'm going to go with you. I need you to open up this checking account. And then you have to do what you have to do. You have to get creative with it. And that's what I would do. If I wasn't able to get a bank account, I will find someone whom I trust, right, to get the bank account for me. The only thing is they're going to have just as much access to the money as you, because it's essentially their bank account, right? They're just allowing you to deposit your checks into it, but it's really their account. It's really their account, so you might have to get somebody that you trust, okay, to do the bank account, because if the checks come in and people say, wow, I got $3,000 in the bank, they might be tempted to take out $1,000, right? Just because it's their account, even though the money doesn't belong to them per se. But technically, from a technical standpoint, it does. So that's a tight thing. But I would say find somebody that you can really, really trust and ask them would it be okay to set up a bank account or set up a checking account in their name. And as long as you trust them, you should be fine. Otherwise, if you have any banking issues, then you need to iron it out with whatever the bank. Like if you owe the bank money and you're not able to get an account, because sometimes that happens. If you owe the bank, they won't let you start up a bank until the debt is paid. Then you just have to work that out, okay? But you're definitely gonna need one, because otherwise might be hard for you to cash those checks. And you know, it's not a professional go to the store or go to Walmart or something like that just to cash a check. I'm sure you'll be able to get it cash, but it might take a lot of work to do, okay? So a bank would be preferred. Let me see here. Terry Todd. Terry says, you have been a blessing to me because of you. I did some cold calling and land my first account. You're an inspiration to the world of cleaning. You have taught me a lot. Thank you so much. Thank you, Terry. It's people like you that keep me motivated to want to do these live videos. I know I haven't been as consistent as I would like to be, but I just wanted to share my story on this particular live, that about this little networking meeting that I went to, and just kind of how I was feeling, to show the human side of me, to show that I'm just like you guys. I get in the middle of the circle and I kind of get nervous too, and I have those moments where, I feel, lesser than others that's doing better than me, or doing that's grossing and netting a lot more than I do. But I wanted to share with you how I deal with those type of things, because you might be in a position where you get around other companies or other cleaning or residential or commercial cleaning companies, and they're doing a whole hell of a lot of revenue annually or monthly, and you might be like, shit, I'm not going to be able to ever catch up with these guys. Don't worry about the competition. Do not worry about the competition. You just stay headstrong, stay vigilant, and you proceed. You know, you stay in your own lane. Don't cross over to what everybody else is doing. Do what you can afford to do in the very beginning. Everything else will work itself out, and then as you grow, you'll be able to expand. Let me see here. Tim said, thanks. You're welcome, Tim. Is cold calling how you get most of your clients since you don't have a website? No. Going door to door is how I get most of my clients, okay? To be honest, these companies not looking for websites. These companies rarely just go looking for clients, okay? Unless they put in a hard situation where they need to get rid of this company and they need to hire another company like ASAP, then they might resort to the Yellow Pages or the Yellow Book and look a company up. Or they might go to somebody who walked in, you know, like my company. Like if we walk in, excuse me, and they already have a company that they're okay with at the time, then they might go to their Rolodex of people who came through and then pick a company, call them, ask them, hey, come and give us a walkthrough, give us an estimate. If we like your numbers, we hire you. Okay, so that's why it's important to leave a business card or leave some type of information where they'll be able to contact you in the event that they become unsatisfied with their current commercial cleaning company or their current cleaner. Okay, so, but most times they don't go looking for websites. They rely upon the phone book, whether it's the book itself or whether it's the online portal. Okay. I'm here in Lansing, Michigan. Great. Go ahead and start it out in Lansing. Get it popping up there. Hey, bro, don't you know if you answered my question already? Oh, don't know if you answered my question already. In regards to references, if they ask and I don't have none. As far as references is concerned, I bumped into that early on, okay, with references. And what I did was use people like my professor, right, in college, I use professional people, like people that I worked for before, to give me a good reference. Now, they didn't necessarily say I cleaned for them, but they was able to give me a good business reference. And it worked. Or what you could do is to build up your credibility, you can offer like free cleanings to, you know, family members or people that you know. You can do a free clean and actually do the job and have them give you a reference that way. Another technique that I like to use marketing wise, and you don't want to do this to death because then, you know, you don't want to get in the space of just doing a bunch of free cleanings. But you can market yourself in a way where you can offer a free cleaning to the first 10 people that respond to your ad, or to whatever company that has between square footage of, you know, 2,000 to 5,000. You offer free cleanings, detailed cleanings from top to bottom for those that's having square footage between 2,000 and 5,000. And you go in there, you just do a full detailed cleaning of it, and then ask them for a reference, right? Ask them what do they think. Most likely, if they like you, they're gonna hire you anyway. If they don't like you, then, you know, you won't return. And then at that point, you can build rapport and get a reference out of people that way. Same thing works for residential too, by the way. So you think maybe a website would be good at a targeted residential accounts? I'm sorry if I'm asking so many questions. No, you're okay, Kylie. A website would be great, period. If you want to put one together, Kylie, I would not tell you not to do it. Go ahead and do it, whether you're doing a residential or whether you're doing a commercial company. Okay, just go ahead, get it started, and promote it. You know, put it out there, let people know it exists, build traffic, and go ahead and good luck with it. Let me know how it works out for you. Okay, I think you'll be fine though. Fabio, when will you be back up live? Live. I'm sporadic with it, Tim. To be honest, there's no certain time that I go live. If I have something that caused me to, want to get some information out to you guys real quick, then I generally go live. But I don't have a live schedule. Thanks, Fabio. You're welcome. How much cleaning can one person do? As much as one person can handle. As much as one person can handle. There's no certain attrition for that, or no certain type of quota for that. Is what you can handle, right? So yeah, that's what I wanted to get out to you guys. I don't want you guys to get discouraged. I know how hard it is to get the first account, let alone many other accounts after that. Also, when you get your first account, I don't want you guys to get complacent. I don't want you to get subdued, so to speak, right? I don't want you to get to the point where you have this one account and then you get so comfortable that you start marketing, or you stop marketing, or you stop going door to door, you stop picking up the phones, okay? Did you download a walkthrough sheet or create your own? I'm assuming you're asking me about a checklist. That's what that would be considered, a checklist sheet. The checklist sheet came with my course. When I first started out, I ordered the course. That's no longer offered anymore. They don't offer the course anymore. Actually, I bought it out. So I bought the stock out from the guy who's actually my mentor today. He was selling a course in the Small Business Opportunity magazine, which is also no longer operating. You can't find a small business magazine anywhere. They're out of business. But that's how I started out with that course, which I still got to this day. I refer to, every so often, because I hate to say it, but that course works as good as today as it did in 2012 when I first started it. And I had people offer me a ton of money for it. The stock that I had, I sold out of that stock. So I no longer have that. I sold out of that stock, and that's been a very long time ago. Okay, but every once and again, I'll get one in the warehouse, or I come across one somehow, some way, and the minute I come across it, the minute I post it up here on the YouTube that I have a course available, it generally sells like that. So yeah, that's kind of how I started. Let's see here. How many accounts do I have currently? I don't know. To be honest, I don't know, because I operate in Georgia, I operate in Ohio, and Michigan, and I'm always picking up accounts. I know I'm on the west side, the east side, the north side, the south side of my city of Detroit, and I'm also in Benton Harbor. I'm also in the outskirts too, so I do pretty well. A lot of my accounts are smaller accounts to medium-sized accounts. The more bigger accounts that I have is like schools and factories. They might do like car parts, or they might be selling, like plastic this or something like that, like industrial or factories. So those are usually my larger accounts, okay? But most of my accounts are small to medium-sized. I'm sorry. Let me see here. Do I have a virtual address? Well, I have like P.O. boxes, or what they call mailboxes, and I also have just my office address in downtown Toledo, Ohio. I have a physical location. So, but whatever you have to do to get started, dude, I'm not against that. There's no rule that you have to have this one thing, right? But if you're trying to get like some type of document, like a LLC or something like that, it may not fly because they, I don't know, depending on your area, they may need a physical address, so you may have to supply that. But I'm not against like a virtual address or like a P.O. box or a mailbox, etc., anything like that. Okay. You guys have any more questions for me? Also, for those that's looking to contact me, if you're trying to contact me, if you're interested in like my agreement or my company agreement, we sell that for $500. It's well written by me and my lawyer. Okay, so I don't like to sell it, but I will for the serious person. If you're looking for like my flyers, we have the one for 50, two for 100. Again, this stuff, I'm just letting you guys know what we offer, so if you're interested, you can definitely contact me. It's not something that you must get from me. Do you sell anything on how to charge clients? Yes, I actually do. I have the estimate breakdown sheet. That's $199. That has the information on how you would charge a client, and it's called the estimate breakdown sheet. That's $199. My coaching is $75 an hour, so, and all of this stuff is very affordable for you guys. I could charge so much more for this stuff and actually get it on YouTube. Trust me, I know this for a fact, because I give out valuable information, a lot of great information. A lot of people use a lot of things that I've sold in the past and still running their business greatly today. A lot of the stuff that I share wasn't necessarily available for me when I first started out. So a lot of you guys are doing a lot better than me because it took me 90 days to get just one account, whereas it's taking a lot of the people here on my YouTube channel 30 days or 2 weeks. And that's after working side by side with me or actually consulting with me over the phone for an hour or, whatever the case is. They're actually getting started in 30 days or less. So it's definitely an advantage to be acquainted with me in that regard, and that's not me saying it per se. That's definitely my subscribers. So again, if you guys just join me, I would like for you to like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel. Once again, if you haven't subscribed already, I would like for you to go ahead and subscribe right now. If you guys have any specific questions about anything business related or whatever outside of business, I'll be able to help you. Where do you go? What you would do is just email me, bookfabiohart@gmail.com. That's bookfabiohart@gmail.com. If you want to speak to me personally, what you have to do is leave your name and your telephone number. My assistant Jasmine to get it over to me. If you just shoot an email, you just want some information. A lot of times, what she'll do is ask me about it, and then she'll personally email you back. I just get so busy. I get so many emails regarding so many different things that I don't have the time to necessarily just email people back. So that's why I have an assistant for. So again, if you're looking to talk to me or you're looking to purchase something, like my coaching, or you're looking to, wonder how you can structure your thing or put a system together for your business, anything like that I'm selling something or offering something, then once again, Jasmine will be able to let me know what it is you're interested in, and at that point we'll be able to set something up for you. Where do I go? Okay. Is there any disadvantage to growing too big? When you, I wouldn't say it's a disadvantage, but when you started growing too big very fast, a lot of times you lose touch of the whole morale of just running a business. A lot of times people get kind of caught up in their own ego, their own self-worth, their own, mind, that they a lot of times typically forget how to even run the business, right? They're not ingrained in the business as they once was because of this wealth that's coming in abundance, or as the growth of the company just grows. They get disconnected, if you will, from the company, right? And they just focus more on other things. So I think that's the only disadvantage. But when you grow small, grow slow, steady, then you appreciate it more, I feel like, at least. Fabio is really helpful. Thank you. Sounds good. Let me see. Or is staying small better profit wise? No, you want to grow. You want to grow. Where can I go to meet with other entrepreneurs in Michigan area? You can go to like BNI meetings. You can go, or you can type in Michigan networking meetings or Michigan networking groups on Google, and anything, or in your specific area. I know you say you're in Lansing, so you can type in BNI meetings in Lansing. You can type in Chamber of Commerce meeting in Lansing. You can type in, business network meetings in Lansing. And if there's any available that you could join, then it definitely populate there on Google. Last question. I'm doing the cleaning for commercial by myself without pay for home cleaning. Should I hire first or build clientele? You build clientele. You build clientele first before hiring, because it's nothing worse than hiring somebody then you don't have nowhere to place them. So you want to build the clientele first. You want to always be hiring. In other words, always be collecting applications, but don't quote unquote hire nobody until you have some work for them. I will shoot you an email sometime in the afternoon on some things. I have to get to bed. Thanks for all the great information, Fabio. Have a wonderful day. Thank you, Tim. I greatly appreciate you for staying up with me here. I greatly appreciate that. Is there anybody else here that have any questions? Yeah, you guys, I'm trying to get the likes up here. I want you to guys, if you haven't liked me already, if you really, really like me, then go ahead and give me the thumbs up on this video. Show me that you like me. Show me that you're really rocking with me. I greatly appreciate that. I also would like for you to share and subscribe. Okay, build a list of potential hires while marketing. Yeah, well, collect applications at the very least and just file the applications. And then once you have somebody, or once you have an account available and you're ready to make that hire, you're in a good position, because at that point all you have to do is go to your folder of applications and just look through them and pick the best possible one. You guys have any more questions here? I want to go ahead and get them all answered. You guys have any more questions? Thanks, Jetstar. I greatly appreciate you, dude. I greatly appreciate you. I really do, man. You guys don't know how amazing you are. It's just I'm very honored and privileged to be able to have subscribers like you guys on my subscription list. You know, I really do adore you guys more than you probably think that I do, because without you, and as cliche as it sounds, it wouldn't be no me. It wouldn't even really be this channel, because you guys are the one that make it go. What service do I use for my business number? I use multiple services. Thanks, Fabio. You're the greatest. Thank you, thank you. I use multiple answering service companies. I'm not sure exactly who we're using right now because I have multiple numbers that ring into my office. So, but if you email me, I'll be able to get that over to you. I can I'll find it out and get it over to you if you just want to use, you know, one of the companies that I use. I'm sure it's a national-based company. Internet fist bump. There you go. You guys have any more questions for me? Is there anything that I missed? Anything that I didn't cover? Anything that you kind of curious about? Anything that you bumped up against that you didn't know how to get out of? Anything that that's keeping you from going out tomorrow and taking action and really creating the dreams of your life and, you know, really getting to your end goal? You know, let's talk about it. Here's the time where we can really talk about it, sit down with each other, and have conversation. Because it might be that one question that you guys, that someone is scared to ask me because of how they feel like it might be taken, that you might be able to ask, and it might be able to get answers to a lot of people. Any way to overcome. We do cleaning in-house. You just move on to the prospect and take it back later. That's all you can do, Cody. That's all you can do. Just let it go and just move forward. And then once you move forward, and you know, you can always just double back, like maybe next quarter, and see where they're at with it. Yeah, thanks, bro Ham. Have a blessed night, Fabio. You too, Evolve. I greatly appreciate you. Do you suggest starting with a car, truck, or van? Whatever you can afford. Whatever you can afford. There's no specific thing that you have to start with. Car, truck, or van, whatever you can afford, you know. Cool, thanks, Fabio. You're welcome, Cody. You guys have any more questions for me? Anything that I missed? Anything that you're battling against? Anything that got your back against the wall where you feel like you're not gonna be able to make a shake, so to speak? Let's take the time and clear it. Let's get everything cleared. Any questions, you guys? Any more questions? All right, well, on that note, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. I'm Fabio Hart. The only person that could ever stop you from starting up your own dreams and making it to the top is you. I want you guys to take care, be safe, God bless, and stay active, man. Just stay out here getting new contracts. However you got to do it. Postcards, flyers, email, faxing, door-to-door, cold calling, however you got to do it. Just make sure you email me and let me know once you get that first account. How did you feel? Let's talk about it. Okay? All right, you guys, take care. Have a great night. Be safe.